Time for some bonds. I turned myself up slightly. I'm gonna see how it sounds. So we'll just see how that goes. Am I gonna go from the bottom to the top again? Yeah. Just because Lincoln's just down here with just one. Lincoln, I'll take this chance to thank you while I can. You fought valiantly at arrogance, as if Ism was your own mother. I won't forget that. She might as well have been. She gave me 2 brothers to fight by my side. It's a great personal comfort to know she's safe.
Still.
For me as well, though it's no comfort to know our enemies would go to such lengths. We should assume their methods know no moral bounds.
How is this fair?
If that's true, then it's hardly a fair fight. I've seen too much war to believe in fair fights. The ground is always higher somewhere, but it's not the advantage that determines the victor. Sterling knew that well. Do you miss him still? Of course, as do you, I'm sure. Can't help but feel as though I could dispatch a letter to a courier and hear back from him. Or like I might run into him in Sojourn at our next briefing. I used to look forward to those. In a way, he's closer now. What we do for our country, for Etlin, we do for him. How did we get here, Irving? You're counseling me as I mourn your own brother's death. It was a long road that brought us here. We've even stood on either side of grief at one point or another.
Indeed.
We've each stood, excuse me. Indeed we have. And now the choice before us is clear as spring water. Let's not hesitate to make it, for those we've lost, and those who might yet be saved. I know I won't. There's no use turning back now. And no, I'm gonna go from the bottom again. Oh my goodness gracious. Rose, how are you? I hope Monroe's not being too much of a pain still. I think I figured him out. Once he's talking about himself, he's happy as a rat in a cheese cave. Yep, that's the nobleman I know. Are they all like that? Nobles? Someone like Monroe would have you think that, but it's not true at all. Some of them try to stick to their values and actually take care of their subjects. Still, I imagine it's pretty easy to let greed get to the better of you when you're sitting on all that gold. You're probably right about that. My father was always so funny about money. He never wanted to see it, especially if any profits were being delivered to our coffers. He used to say if he saw it, he'd forget how to spend it, so instead he instructed his steward to allocate the funds the way he wanted. I didn't know your father was a noble. He must be pretty well off in New-Lias. You'd be surprised. Some nobles are more in debt than all their indentured serfs put together. Really? How does that happen? A new generation comes along and squanders their family's wealth. Art collecting, horse trading, wild parties, gambling too. A lot of them really love their cards. Never would have guessed. The lifestyle, sure, but not being totally broke. Sounds like your parents weren't that way though, thankfully. No, they weren't. I was very blessed. They liked to enjoy nice things, that's for sure. But it was always important to my father that the people in his barony were safe. Is that where you get it from? Get what from? Your instinct to protect your friends. I guess so. I've never really thought about it like that. Well, I have to thank him then. If I ever get the chance, his example probably saved my life. A couple of times. Come on. You've gotten me out of more than a few Come on. You've gotten me out of more than a few close calls yourself. Good. It's just the way it should be. Hey, Bianca. Do you remember what the skies looked like after our battle at Red Hill? Yeah, that red you get from all the fires and the smoke. It was kind of lovely, wasn't it?
Could be.
If you forget where it came from, sure. We used to get sunsets like those back in New Lias. Right after they'd pruned the vineyards in Frostal, they'd set fire to the diseased cuttings. There was this fungus that turned the smoke gold when it burned. You'd see pillars going up for miles around, like the whole outdoors transformed into the hall of some decadent palace. And the sunsets were spectacular.
Huh?
No, that sounds like some sight to see. I wasn't sure I'd ever feel that way again. What way? Like you were taking in a nice view? No, at home. Oh, I gotcha. Dot dot dot. It must be difficult to know you can't go back. Or you shouldn't, anyway. It was, and still is, though a little less now. It doesn't sound like you need me to tell you this, but you seem to have a pretty good home here with all of
I
us.
trust you.
I couldn't agree more. Ever think you could convince your parents to move out this way? Out here? Who would rule in Ozon?
Could be.
It can't be too hard to find some power-hungry lord who might step up to the
I
task.
can't help it.
That's just it, though. That's why they can never leave. They're all that stands between their subjects and... that.
Definitely.
You got a big heart to make room for all those people in it,
I
Iris.
don't know.
Oh, I don't know. It's fine. I know it well enough for the both of us. Well, I can tell you this. I never would have felt at home without the welcome you extended to me. Back when we all met on Ford's ship. I'll always be grateful for that, Bianca.
What now?
I was just happy to have someone else be the butt of adept girl jokes for a change. People make jokes about me? No, for the most part, they still stick it to me. I probably said those lines completely wrong. No, that's good. Sheesh, what happened to empathy? That's for soul magic. I'm lightning, remember? Don't have to tell me twice. Wait, Iris. Your parents are nobles, right? That's right. What kind of nobles? They got a country? No. A barony called Orzon. Why? Just curious. And you're an only child? Yes. So no brothers or sisters? Where are you going with this? Wait, let me guess. They used to tell you, growing up, that they always wanted a son. No, I never heard them say anything like that. Oh, well, maybe you were out of earshot. That would have been the considerate thing for them to do anyway.
I don't know.
I don't think so. So please, enhance my cultural education. How does, say, inheritance work in New Lias? Faust. What? Oh, by the by, do you think I could pass for New Liasan? I could try an accent if you
I
like.
should have known.
I'd rather you didn't. You're right. I need to work on it first. We'll be in touch. Iris, you seem to have a swing in your step. I think I do. I've never really felt this way before. Felt what way? Like there's nowhere else in the world I'm supposed to be.
Huh?
Wow, what a beautiful gift. I wanted to tell you too. I'm really glad I'm really glad you said what you did to Irving about sharing each other's burdens. I think that was exactly what he needed to hear. He's got a heart of gold, but even someone like that can't go it alone. Is it supposed to be do it alone? Definitely not. How are you sleeping? Much better, thanks to the nectar you gave me. I still dream of my father, and my mother actually, but now I dream of life before the instant, when we were happy, traveling, or just enjoying each other's company at the estate. I'm glad. Memories like that can comfort us in trying times. It's certainly been the case. It's good you won't have to relive the other memories against your will. I still can't imagine how anyone could do something like that in the first place. I never told you the whole story, did I? No, and I don't think you have to.
I trust you.
I know, but I think I'd like to. I'm ready now. My father cared about his subjects more than most barons would. He was always tending to their needs, so when some bandits gained a footing in the region, he hired some mercenaries to solve the problem. I guess they could have been more thorough. Their leader, Dex, he escaped somehow. After that, I'm not sure there was anything he wanted more than to take his revenge on my father. With a few of his men, he was able to get a hold of me, gave me these scars. He dumped me in a nearby woods to stumble my way home. It was more than a decade ago. Terrible. I hope your father's men made short work of him. Okay. Maybe they have by now, but I doubt it. Dex is too smart to ever return to Orzon.
Huh?
You mean he's still out there?
I don't know.
Somewhere, maybe. But don't worry, I've made my peace with it. And if I ever get the chance, I won't hesitate to make sure he never gets to hurt anyone again. Sure. And count me in when you do.
If you say so.
Of course. To be honest, Marin, I don't really plan on counting you out of much of anything, if I can help it. I'm happy you said that. I was just thinking the same thing. Good. Then let's fight for that future. Nothing else to do, really. Hey, Vesta. Where are you headed? Oh, Iris. I was just stepping away for some quiet prayer. So much is happening these days, you know. It tends to get to my head. I definitely understand that. Well, I don't mean to bother you. Please, don't be silly. Is there something on your mind?
I don't know.
Not really. I was just reflecting a bit on everything that's happened to us and the time we've all spent together. Just because, well, the road ahead is difficult, and tomorrow is never guaranteed, you know? Yes, I know that all too well. You're very wise to appreciate that. Thanks. And yeah, anyway, looking back at what we've been through, I realized you were there for me right from the start. You reached out when I hardly knew anyone. You encouraged me to be myself. Even in battle, I knew you were never far.
I trust you.
You tried to make me feel welcome, and well, it worked. I guess I just wanted to say thank you. Of course, Iris. It was clear to me that you belonged with us right away. I only wanted to help you see what I did. In fact, I'm not sure we'd be where we are without you. I know I can say the same for myself. Well, we're here now. Together, aren't we? And both better for it. That's what counts. I think so. Anyway, I'll let you go pray. Actually, would you care to join me? Oh, it's been a long time since I've done anything like that. Not to worry. I'll lead. Right? I guess I could use some quiet. Very good. And yes, I think we all can. Come. Alexa. Okay. Great abyss. That's some fine craftsmanship, Iris. Oh, my armor?
You got that right.
Yep. New Lia's in work, no doubt. That alloy doesn't even show stains. You're more than battle ready. Yes, that's convenient. We seem to be getting ourselves into a lot of those.
What?
You mean this isn't the life you wanted? What makes you think it would be? Your armor, mostly. Ah. No, if you can believe it, I didn't set out to start a revolution. I just wanted to get by. Find my place in the world. For Azeps, that usually involves combat, one way or another. But see, people like you make the best revolutionaries. And how's that? Because you never wanted this. You were content with your way of life, until you realized that way of life, all ways of life, were threatened by some tyrannical king who promised to defend it.
I don't know.
I don't know that I'd put it that way. If you gave yourself more time to reflect on it, you would. But there's no time for that anyway. We need you where your skills are best suited, on the battlefield. The moment I saw you from my cell, I knew you had the spark. I swear to the gods, you're like a battering ram out there, Iris. It's a wonder there's any left for the rest of us. Come on. You don't mean that. Don't take my word for it. You'll hear it from all the heralds and bards soon enough. I highly doubt that, Alexa. Good. Stay humble. I wouldn't want all this to get to your head while you've still got enemies to fry. Okay. Gee. Excellent.
No way!
Okay, what was that? Whoa, Sophia, are you weight training? Oh, hey Benji. I guess so. I just found some of these branches and I figured lifting them might help me improve my strength. Then maybe I could draw more powerful bows. That's exactly the mindset you need, Sophia. Never take your eye off the prize. Thanks so much. I sure won't. Dot, dot, dot. Did you need something?
Whoa!
Oh no, I just wanted to watch. Maybe I could give you some tips on your form. Oh, alright. Here goes. Whoa, whoa, hold up there. You should have someone spot you, or you're gonna hurt yourself. Uh-oh. Wouldn't want that. No, you don't. Nothing can set back progress like an injury. That's why stretching is important too.
Alright!
Now listen up. You don't want to drop the branches like that. If you do it right, you can get just as much of a workout on the way down as you do on the way up. Try again, and don't forget to breathe. Alright. Whew. Better. Much better. You should feel that in your arms now instead of your back. Oh man, that definitely felt better. There's just so much to think about at once. I know what you mean. Don't sweat it. You'll get used to it with time. All you really need to do is make sure you're always pushing yourself to the max. Not more than that, or you'll get hurt. But any less is wasted potential. Good advice.
Nothing less than the best.
Hey, I got some time if you want to keep going. You really shouldn't do this without a spotter anyways. Thanks. That'd be great. You've already helped me a lot. I know my way around this stuff. Alright, let's start from the bottom. Your arm is fully extended, and see if you can curl it all the way up to your chin. Ready? Ready as ever. Go! Hey Orima, how could I get myself a belt like that? Well, Benji, this belt has a long history. How old is it? Centuries old.
Whoa!
Really? Wow, it's in pretty good shape for centuries. Before I won it, it had not been worn in a long time. How did you win it? It's awarded to the one who holds the record of the most undefeated matches in the Oasis Arena. Wait, so technically, I could win it from you? You could. And I would be honor-bound to deliver it to you. All you'd have to do is break my record.
Alright!
Alright. How many matches would it take? I'm embarrassed to admit this, Benji, but I don't actually remember. It's been a long time. I'm sure the record is kept somewhere in Aramore. Can you give me an idea? More than 10? 20? More than 100, at least. Oh. What if we started our own arena? In Red Hill? Could we make our own belt? You certainly could. That seems like a good plan. Give the people some entertainment in their community. Maybe Fenton can help me forge something huge and epic. I'm sure he'd be glad to. Rose, you look bored.
I guess so.
Yes, I am. A little. I've got just the thing. Let's play a game. Oh, I don't know. Well, don't worry. I'm open to suggestions. We could play red hands, pin the ear on the elf, or would you rather... Would you rather? That sounds the least violent.
You think?
You'd be surprised. Uh-oh.
Anyway,
Alright, first question. Would you rather eat a live cricket or a live snake? Look, what's wrong with you, Faust?
Nuh-uh.
Time for that one. Just answer the question. Why? Are you gonna try to make me eat one?
Jeez.
Oh no, that's just how the game works. It's purely hypothetical. A cricket. And why? They're smaller, so it'd be easier to get it over with. They're bugs. Don't you think that's pretty gross? Eating bugs? Isn't it my turn to ask you something now?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Would you rather spend a year as a deckhand on Ford's ship, or...
Stop.
Yep, the second one. Huh? You don't even know what I was going to ask yet.
Please don't.
Don't need to. I had enough of that guy from the inside of the barrel. Alright, next question. Alright. Faust is interesting. He has some funny lines, but I don't know why he's here. Can you believe we took Canopy Bridge? All those days all those days we spent scheming in prison seem to be worth something now. First off, they were already worth something. Second, you never did any scheming. You did all the whining and sad-ing. It isn't a word. Who cares? I just made it one. I care. If you're gonna make me feel bad, you should at least do it right. How does that make you feel bad? Is it not true you moped and whined and were sad the whole time we spent in prison? Well, yeah, that doesn't mean I like hearing about it. I'm trying to get more positive. You know that. You're the one that made me start trying in the first place. There you go. Why should you be upset with me for pointing out progress? You would never understand, Alexa. You've always been the fiery, confident girl. You can throw me across this room if you want. You're outside. At least here you are. No. You don't get to use me as an excuse. We've arm wrestled. You've beat me. You draw bowstring loads heavier than my entire body. If one of us is throwing someone here, it's not me. Okay, fine, I take it back. You would throw me across this room if you wanted to. Better? Much better. Although I would never throw you. We both know you're much too fragile. Hey, why are you being so mean to me today? Oh, just blowing off some steam, I suppose. There's still a long way to go. I don't think I see why that justifies verbally assaulting me. Oh, toughen up already. Man, tough love, I guess. You and Alexa first met at Dervin, is that right? Yes, we were cellmates, actually. I see. And did she look after you? In a way. At first she told me I didn't stand a chance of surviving more than a few months. I think she just wanted to toughen me up, and she did. She used to give me a lot of these sayings. Keep your fists high and your head higher. Things like that. And you found that helpful? I think so. They tried to take a lot of things away from us at Dervin. Alexa showed me how to hold on to my dignity. So now you feel indebted to her?
I guess so.
Yes. It's more that we became friends. It's not something I expected to happen when I first got locked up in there. You trust her then?
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Maiev. I don't mean to be rude, but is this some kind of interrogation?
Forgive me.
No, not at all. Well, it's not intended to be. I'm simply a creature of habit, I suppose. You don't trust Alexa, do you? There are always a million reasons to doubt the motives of another, friend or foe. I'm trying to learn to be more trusting. Not opening an investigation on your own allies might be a good first step. Of course, I understand why you'd say that. I'm just concerned about the safety of the group. Believe me, Maya, I am too. And I'm not worried about Alexa. She really cares about our friends. ... You trust me?
Actually,
You haven't given me any reason not to. Then trust me now. Alexa is a threat, but only to our enemies. Your energy is better spent on them. Alright, I'll take you at your word. Hey, Elias. Rose, welcome to my humble abode. Again, in the middle of nowhere. Very funny. Was a joke, right? That was a joke. I thought I'd drop by since I'm planning on doing some work on my bows today. You'd like me to join you?
Uh-huh.
I mean, if that's something you would want to do, you're welcome to. I'll have to see if I can make the time, with everything going on.
Sorry.
Right. I'll just be on my way then.
Hold on.
Wait, sit down for a bit first. I promised you I would tell you about my journey to Everhearth. Oh, I don't want to pry. You really don't have to. I don't want to be a burden. You have important work to do. It would ease my mind to talk about it, I think. I'd appreciate it if you would stay for a bit. I know you're curious.
I guess so.
Okay, I'll stay. I guess I can't miss a chance to hear the full story. Great. Not a lot of people know about this, but I went through a challenging time after I left New Lias. My family would have turned me over to be purified on account of my awake and adept blood. Of course, no one ever seems to mention that they carry the same blood in their veins, simply dormant. I guess I don't blame them. They would split long-held prejudices to the core. Anyway, I was essentially devoid of any purpose once I left home. I drifted from town to town, performing minor tasks for the bare necessities. I traveled like that for over a year, before I found myself in the Voidmaw Mountains, seeking the entrance to Everhearth. I nearly died, and was carried to the city by patrolmen that watched for intrusions. There was a family there, the ones that found me. They must have seen how bad a spot I was in. They took me in. The persecution of adepts in New Lias is no secret, and they could tell I was struggling. They helped me come to terms with what I am.
That's so cool.
It sounds incredible. Do you miss them?
Sure thing.
Every day, they gave me the greatest gift in the world, freedom from my own hatred and fear. Thank you for telling me all that. You always seem to have it all together. I never would have expected you have so much doubt.
Perhaps.
We all have doubt, Rose. We're all uncomfortable at times. It is worth every second you spend pushing through it. I think I should leave you to your work. I don't want Ford to come by and yell at me for distracting
I'm
you.
with you.
You're probably right. Thanks for dropping by, Rose. You're an excellent listener. I'll see you around. Thanks for talking to me. Oops. Didn't think we'd be seeing you again. I made those a man's last words once. Yikes. Hope he deserved it. He definitely did. Filthy deserter thought he could get the jump on me and my friends. Then he thought he could sneak away. You get away with one mistake now and then, but never two.
Huh?
Really don't mean to kill the mood here, but weren't you a deserter too, legally speaking?
Don't think so.
Resisting is not the same as deserting. We didn't turn our weapons on our own people for a profit.
Could be.
Maybe not, but it sounds like you waylaid plenty of caravans. We redirected some supply chains, and only when they were carrying arms or armor for the war effort. I don't imagine all that redirecting occurred as peacefully as you make it seem. There were times where we were forced to defend ourselves. You sure have an interesting way of looking at things. Before Varric put a target on my father's back, I saw things pretty much like everyone else. When I learned the world was upside down, I tilted my head to see it as it truly is. Standing on your own head, huh? Now this is starting to make sense. Clever. Hey, Faust. I was hoping to catch you alone. Lacking in violent intent, I hope. I just want to apologize. My pa used to tell me I don't know my own strength, and I guess it really is true. I keep thinking I was bullying you. Oh, don't worry about it. You did me a favor, really. That anvil would have been the death of me. Still can't believe you were able to lift it all. I don't even know if I could bring that thing more than a few feet. Have you considered that I'm simply stronger than you are? Huh. What a funny thought. Nope. So how are you lifting it? I've taught myself to infuse magic into my muscles. It makes me a little faster. A bit stronger.
No way!
No way! That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. Can you teach me? Something tells me you aren't the most in touch with your worshipping side. What do you mean? I pray to Solaric every morning and night.
Whoa.
Really? I never would have get that he may bring me swift victory in all my endeavors.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
It's simple.
Yep. Gotta be part of why I'm so good at stuff, so I keep doing it. I could see that. You've won, what, 8 corn husking competitions?
Nothing less than
8?
the best.
You haven't done your research at all, huh? I've won exactly 11.
Huh?
Wait, are you serious? Yeah, why wouldn't I be? No, no reason at all. Hey, Fireballs, how's the whole magic thing going? Hey, Faust. Better, that's for sure. I'm starting to see a difference on the battlefield. Well, you know who isn't seeing a difference? Your enemies. Because they're dead. So they don't see anything after you kill them, you know. With your spells. No, yeah, I understood that part. Cool. Not my best work.
Nope.
No, definitely not. Hey, listen, I've been meaning to ask. Your sister, she, obliged?
Huh?
What? You know, is she seeing anyone? Oh, I don't think so. We didn't really talk about that stuff a whole lot. Ah, got it. So she's a private woman. I can get behind that. Alright. She got a paper cup. My god. Ugh. Spot in her hometown where she likes to unwind? Listen, I really think you should just ask her yourself. Oh yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Psh, no, of course. She's probably told me all those things already. I just don't want her to repeat herself. Mm-hmm. You'll get it when you're older. I think I get it now.
Jeez.
Oh, alright, we got alright, we got a smart wizard. God! Speak! Kid genius, huh? Whatever, man.
Anyway.
Listen, keep up the good work. You're doing great. Just pace yourself, yeah? You're starting to make the rest of us look bad. I'll keep that in mind. Good. Honestly, I think we really need get each other. We're synced. It's gonna be great. It's already great. Yeah, definitely. Alexa, let me just say, between those abs and that armor, you are covered in steel. That didn't do anything for you. How long did it take you to come up with that? Come on now. What makes you think I'm so calculated? I'm a spur-of-the-moment kind of guy. That explains how Ford found you in a barrel. Is that what he's telling people now? That he found me in a barrel? That little sea urchin. Sounds like you two have some issues to work out.
Definitely.
Actually, I was hoping you could help me with that.
Don't think so.
I'd much rather not get in the middle of you two.
Nuh-uh.
Ew, no. Not Ford. I can handle him all on my own. Without really even thinking about it, actually. But anyway, I mean, helping me work out. Gods below. Serious. I have a routine. One I designed myself, in fact. But it's just not cutting it. I'm not seeing results.
Here's the deal.
You know what, Faust? Maybe I can help you out with this one. Yes, let's go. Here's your first piece of advice. When someone tells you to do crunches, they don't mean stuff yourself in a barrel. ... That's it? You really think that was so clever? Hey, how long did it take you to come up with that one, huh? Spur of the moment. That's my girl. Faust, for your own sake, never call me that again.
Jeez.
Yikes. I'm sure some days it's harder than others, but the way you look out for your kid brother Fenton, it's a special thing.
You really think so?
Thanks, but I think you meant to say Alden. Are you sure? With the purple hair and the pointy hat? Yep, that's Alden. Oh, Fenton's the other kid? Fenton's a dwarf, Benji. You could say that again. Poor kid. No one's putting fertilizer in his breakfast. No, Certainly not. Anyways, what made you say that? Well, he's just so short.
Come on.
No, about Alden and me. Oh, nothing really. I just pick up on things. Got it. Do you have any brothers or sisters? One of each. Not that it did me much good. Spent most of my childhood picking up their slack. Some people grow up a little later in life. What do you think? What you did may have meant a lot to them. You never know what's going on under the surface. If that was the case, I figure they would have stuck around. Given the chance, they might do things differently now. Do you have any idea where they are? Maybe you could go see them. Not really. We were never too close growing up anyway. Well, I'm sure they'd be more than impressed with all that you've accomplished. They might have even gotten wind of it already. Some wind of it already. You think so? I hope they'd see what they could do with a little commitment.
It'll be all right.
Sounds like you always had their best interest at heart, Benji. I think they were lucky to have you looking out for them. I guess.
Hey, thanks!
Hey, thanks for saying that, Marin. I'm really glad I ran into you all back at Red Hill. Quite literally. Huh? What do you mean? I mean, I'm glad too, Benji. We all are. Alexa, how are you doing? Great. Why? Does it look like something is wrong? I mean, you just got out of prison. I don't think you need to look wrong for me to check in. I don't think you need to look wrong. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm made of harder stuff than that. Come on now. Ugh. Next time I play something, I'm gonna play something that I don't need to read, because this is torture for me. Oh, I'm made of harder stuff than that. Come now. Guess I can see that one. What about Rose, then? Harder stuff is not exactly the best descriptor there, I'm afraid. She's as shy as they come. Damn if she can't put an arrow through an apple at 1,000 yards, though. 1,000 does seem a little far-fetched, if I'm being honest. Is she that good? Well, Abyss take me if I know. All those numbers ain't really for me. She's damn good with a bow. Happy? I didn't mean anything by it. If anything, the fact that I would believe it sounds volumes just how good Rose is. Just... If anything, the fact that I would believe it speaks volumes about just how good Rose is. Where'd you dig her up? She's a Red Hill girl. Real sweetheart. Bit like me. Her old man got caught up in the Delian war machine, fletching arrows in town. She hated what it did to him. No one else in the world she loves more. What was so bad about fletching arrows? Was it not already his job? He fletched for hunters, for sport, anything but war. From everything I've heard, he's gentle as a lamb. Like father like daughter, right?
You got that right.
Something like that. How about yourself? Got family back home that Varric stepped all over? Family back home? Yeah. I don't know about the war, though. I guess we're here for pretty different reasons. I hope you never come to hate Varric as much as I do, Sia. Keep your head up. So, I've been wondering, Ellie. Wondering what exactly? When you're going to get around to thanking me? Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. For what? Bringing us on the greatest adventure of our lives. We're historic. I never wanted to be historic. I just wanted to live my life. You know that. But what we're doing is magical. We've met some of the strongest, most intelligent and kind people in the world. We've made some of the best friends one can hope for. There's no doubt there. That doesn't change the fact that we could find ourselves losing them soon. We're not out of it yet. But how could we fail? There's a lot of ways. My pursuit of Akmenos has drained me. Well, you know how I feel about that. You're pushing yourself too hard, and I wish you would rest more. I know. We don't need to rehash old arguments. I need to do this, Sia. For all of us. But for me, most of all. You're the best friend I've ever had, Elias. You're hell of a man. You're a hell of a man. And there is nothing in the entire world that can take that away. Dot dot dot. You have to stop holding what happened in Arde against yourself. I still think about him, you know. Boy I left behind. I wonder what he's up to now. Whatever it is, I'm sure he turned out just fine. A childhood heartbreak is nothing compared to what you've put yourself through. What you're putting yourself through now. Yeah. I wish it were as simple as that for me. I'm not sure I've learned how to be at peace quite yet. I'll be here until you do. After then, too. But you know I'm here for you now. You know, you're really the closest thing to family I have. Well, after my extended absence, I think you're that for me too. Would you find it strange for me to tell you I love you? Not at all, Ellie. We'll all be family. I love you too, you big goof. I may not be ready to make peace with my past, but I think I'm on the way. You're a big part of that. Thank you. You don't need to thank me for caring. Maev, have you ever done anything like this before? Depends on what you mean by this. Fought in a revolution, or tried to stop a terrible magical catastrophe from happening? Grand Inquisitor with any experience has mitigated their fair share of catastrophes, but we generally try to avoid direct involvement in revolution. In all honesty, more often than not, we're called in to quell stirrings of revolt before a spark ever catches. Then your guess is as good as mine? About what might happen to us, I mean. Well, if history is any teacher, revolutions are monstrous events which tend to immediately consume whatever offspring they might produce. Chaos is the most likely end result, statistically speaking. But history also showed us the pattern of the past can be defied. So there is promise in that. And if we're going to win, or live even, we're gonna need an exception to the rule.
That's correct.
It appears that way, but we've done an excellent job of that so far. It's good to hear. You're too young to give in to thoughts of despair, Alden. The others depend on you. Your joy, your optimism. When your sister attempted her trial, you were strong for her, were you not? I tried to be.
We do what we must.
And you succeeded. But the world has deemed that success was not enough. Strength is required of you again. Take courage, and we will see this through.
Let's do it.
I'll do what I have to. For Marin, and for my friends, too. You're a loyal friend and brother, Alden. Never doubt that. Your mother seems to have adjusted to a revolutionary's life. What makes you say that? Just the other day, I ran into her by the riverbed. She was issuing orders to the new recruits like a proper general. I'll have to speak with her about that. Only to encourage her, I'm sure. As for myself, I'm not so sure. You be gentle with her, Irving. It's only a mother's instinct to fiercely guard the efforts of her son. I know. She means well. Perhaps it's just a son's instinct to be embarrassed by it. Man, I always hate it too whenever my mom goes and barks orders to all of my recruits. So annoying. There may be truth in that. You're glad to have her with us, aren't you? Immeasurably. It's strange to say, but the Marrows is about the safest place on Ethlid for her right now. Out of reach of Fervaric's agents, I pray. And I join my prayers too. And I join my prayers to yours. Threatening her life to get to you was both cruel and dishonorable. That goes without saying. But you handled yourself well at Arrogance Peak. A lesser man might have fallen victim to despair or rage, but you never once relinquished your command of the situation. I'm grateful it appears that way. There certainly was a storm raging inside of me. I can imagine. Seeing my own mother held captive. It all became real, I guess. Each and every action we take echoes in the lives of real people. For the better, more than not.
Yes.
I hope so. I wouldn't wish the experience upon another, but it was certainly a reminder of who we're fighting.
Take heart.
That's good. Such reminders can be useful to us in dark times. Your mother is greatly blessed to have you for a son, and all Delia to have you as the face of its revolution. You flatter me, really, but I appreciate your words. Did you enjoy our time at sea, Vesta? When we weren't fending off scores of elementals, and when Ford was asleep, or otherwise far too incapacitated to make trouble, yes. Why do you ask?
I'm with you.
I had never even seen the sea before. There was something entrancing about it, its immeasurable depth, and when we passed through the shimmering mists, the water was so blue, like the sky. Some believe the sky is another sea, that rain flows from its waters, and that the stars are gems sunken in its depths. And what do you believe? I believe you've been spending far too long staring into those aspects, or that accursed staff. I wish I could argue. Do you dream of them? The aspects? Yes. Do you? I did, for a time. But entrancing as they are, we were not born to live our lives in dreams, Elias. We must remain awake and attentive to the affairs of the world, of this world. Will you do me a favor?
Sure thing.
I'll need to know more before I can commit to that.
Take heart.
Fair enough. Next time you have some chance, rub some dirt between your fingers. Look up at the sun, take in the scent of the flowers. Wash your face with the waters of a cool stream.
Hold on there.
Should I be writing this down? I think you understand my point.
Perhaps.
I believe I do. The waking world is at least as enchanting as the astral plane, Elias. At times more so, like the sea. Yes, like the sea. Maev, if you think you're subtle avoiding me around here, I hate to break it to you, but you're not.
Forgive me.
I'm not sure what you're on about.
Come on.
Come on, let's not honeycoat it. You don't approve of my methods. I'll admit, it is uncommon for the Council to recommend such direct political solutions. Then maybe your Council could use more women like me. I'm a big fan of direct solutions. I can see that. Isn't the whole point of the Mystic Council to improve life across Terrazel?
That's correct.
Keep the peace, mostly. But indirectly, yes, I'd say so. Do you see a whole lot of peace around here? If there weren't any problems to fix, Alexa, the Mystic Council wouldn't exist. That doesn't sound so terrible. If you don't know half the disasters we've prevented, then no. I imagine it doesn't.
Here's the deal.
Look, all I'm saying is, if nobody wants you dead, you're not making real change. Noise, maybe, but you're not really shaking things up at all. You're not really shaking things up all that much. And if people are gonna want you dead, the more directly and quickly you deal with them, the better. Diplomacy isn't going to get between a knife and your throat. You should not underestimate the power of turning enemies into allies.
Oh, yeah?
I'd rather turn enemies into corpses. It's a lot cleaner that way. I never said the right choice and the easy choice were the same. We're one and the same. You're starting to sound like Lincoln. It's not the insult you think it is. Maybe not to you. Oh, is that everything? Oh, that's everything. And it wasn't actually that long. I thought I would be going for a lot longer, honestly. Alright. Either way. I guess that's the end of that. That was quite a few. I want to know what's up with Faust. Faust is so weird. I'm not gonna... See you next time.